All right, let's do something a little different today for the watch this video for Friday, January 19th. I'm going to start with a tweet I sent out today that simply said, well, I was looking for my ass this morning and the market found it and handed it to me. First red day since Halloween, back at it tomorrow. So I haven't had a red day until today. Did everything I could to lose money today. Skillfully did everything wrong. And just one of those days. Be back at it tomorrow with a little bit more cautious attitude. I think I got a little bit complacent because money's been coming pretty easy, but sure did jack it up today. Which I think these. I had a really nice day yesterday, and so today I basically erased all of my gains from yesterday. You know what? I'm very, very thankful that that's all that happened on my first red day since Halloween, right? Because a lot of times in the past I would have erased 2 to 3 weeks worth of gains if I have a day where I do everything wrong. And that can really mess up your mindset and take a long time to recover from. So undoing one day's worth of profits is a pretty good way to get a reminder, that hey, you need to follow your rules. A lot better way to me than really getting my butt handed to me. So, but still, I was terrible today. And I want to share one other tweet that I put out. I tweeted this back on January 4th. That's Paul Krugman. And this was the exact spot that this, can I say dipshit? Yeah, I'm going to. That this dipshit told the world the markets may never recover. Literally right there. Right there. And you can see what it did between there and January 4th. That's when I posted this. So, and it's been going up ever since, by the way, as you can see in the background there. But the only reason I point this out is that was January 4th. And this Paul Krugman got the #1 fake news guy for this prognostication. Did I say that right? Back then. So it's just proof that Donald Trump stalks my Twitter feed. That's the only reason I point that out. All right, anyway. In all seriousness, the SPY holding up pretty darn well. It gapped up 3 sessions ago, sold off, and then you kind of flagging right below 280. So I've actually got kind of a big list for tomorrow. RCON had this massive move. Then if you look at it, it looked like, wow, it was rolling over, right? All these longs from up here are in trouble. And then today actually got a nice volume pop and closed right at yesterday's high. So this is one of those that can go either way. I'm not in love with it, but certainly worth having on watch. WPCS, another weird one, had this big breakout, then 2 days right back into support. And then if you go to intraday today, all of a sudden this thing gets a late day volume spike from $1.05 to like $1.30, and in the last 5 minutes does this. Don't know what to think of this thing, but it's one of those that when it does get moving, it gets moving pretty quickly. So I also want to watch that one. HMNY is 3 days sideways, but it feels like it's trying to get moving. There it is on 15s. Had a nice trade in it a couple days ago, maybe. I can't remember. And then today it had this really nice volume spike before kind of coming back a little bit, but not really giving it all back. Anyway, they seem to want to pile into this thing. You get like these little mini short squeezes, so I'm going to have HMNY on watch as well. TNDM, this one is very obscure. I talked about this in last night's video. I liked it over the 2-day high, right? Over 3. And then if you look at this, today it just did nothing, right? It was just, this is the opening candle right here today, 5-minute candles. And then all of a sudden you get this massive volume spike. It doesn't really mean anything, but I just want to watch it because I still like it over 3. And then today's high was 293. So maybe even a break at today's high would be enough to get you back to 3, and then it might bust through 3. I do not love this one. They just did an offering a couple days ago or something. So one of my least favorite as far as the charts go, but sometimes, sometimes one of my least favorites gives a great setup the next day. So MRAM, big volume spike today, and really trying to take out this 10 level that it had, kind of was resistance here, and then kind of trying to push through it now on big volume. So we'll see if we get a red to green in that one tomorrow. Probably a pretty thin stock, so be careful. FORD, there's nothing here except that in after hours, I'm assuming they had earnings, it's trading at like $2. So let me look at the weekly real quick. So there's the weekly. These are weekly candles. So it's trading, so a possible gap and go tomorrow. This is a low float stock, so I think it's worth watching. NCTY was on bounce watch today. No trades in it, and it's back on bounce watch tomorrow. Somewhat of a more narrow range today than it had yesterday. Looks pretty good over $1.20 over today's high, so we'll see. YTEN, Had this spike back here that gave it all back, and lo and behold, a couple days later, a little extra volume, it's right back up near that 3-day high. Good potential long here. You can see what this one can do at times. This massive move back here. Anyway, I want to watch that one. ICON. Man, I thought this one was going to go maybe this afternoon, and it never really followed through. I don't know what I made in this thing. I made back some of my morning losses in this one, but it didn't really rip like I thought it would. But look at this. Massive volume, breaking out, closing fairly strong, and breaking over, I don't know, more than a month worth of trading. And closing, like I said, fairly strong. This one looks like it might be headed to 2 over the next few days. Anything can happen, so I'm a day trader, so I'm not brave enough to hold this overnight because I'm in cash every night. But I do like the looks of this one for a follow-through day tomorrow. A lot of shorts in it. CVO had this big spike here, lower high, then another big spike on even bigger volume here, which topped out at 155, and then today kind of a quiet inside day. I like this a lot over today's high, over 145. That might be enough to push it through this 155 and maybe squeeze it. Certainly one to watch. Probably my favorite chart of all of them that I'm watching tomorrow. SEED, S-E-E-D, had this big volume spike, and then today an inside day closing at its highs. Possible follow-through day tomorrow. CYTX. This is, again, I don't like the sub-dollar stocks, but this one's interesting. It had a big pop here, then another big pop here, and, you know, kind of flagging for a bit, and then a nice little volume push closing at its highs today. It's a handsome chart, but I don't like the sub-dollar stuff, but it's still worth watching. And then LEDS, let me go to 5-minute candles here. Got this big volume rip this morning, and then kind of just went into sideways action the rest of the day. This one does move at times, though, as you can see. There's 60-minute candles, so absolutely worth watching. You know what? That's it. We're going to add some gappers in the morning as well. I'm going to be trading a little more conservatively because I got my, my little wake-up call that you don't always make money if you're not careful in the market. In the description of this video, there'll be a link to all of our free webinars, so please check those out. We got really, really good feedback on a lot of our webinars. People email Wayne and myself all the time that a lot of the stuff in there has really helped them. And there's also a link to our, we brought back our holiday prices for the live course. It's going to be about 14 hours, Saturday and Sunday, January 27th and 28th, which is coming up the weekend after this one. So we're getting really close to that. You'll be able to ask us questions after each section, and you'll have access to the recordings for the rest of your life after that. So if you can, give that a shot too, because it teaches you everything that I employ every day to achieve the equity curve that I have today notwithstanding, my red day notwithstanding. Anyway, I'm done babbling. Have a great night. We'll see everybody tomorrow.